I have to delete those.
She's figuring out how to work it. Yeah, your mother, deine Mutter had the controller in hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna just delete the other ones and we'll work from this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's whack. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Look at them chicken feet.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
The Asian stuff.
Yeah, well, this time I'm on my phone. Thank you so very much, Mel, for keeping us updated. Yeah, third time is a charm. And I'm actually going to end up having to work from the phone versus the laptop. Of course, the laptop has a wider camera view. So we'll just work from this one for now. Just I would try to figure it out, but I'll try to punch in a little earlier to see if we can actually get it in order. So, all right, so loading and streaming without interruptions now. Okay, cool. All right, thank you, Tyrone, for updating us. Not sure what's going on with the with our laptop broadcast. However, I will continue the broadcast over the phone this time. As stated before, we have somewhat of a limited screen. However, today we have AAA here with us.
How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, and I'm introducing to you Mr. Darkside himself, Shemty Multimedia, Right Knowledge.
Peace.
It's the God Shemty. We in the house. I'll wait for everybody to filter in, and we'll continue on with our proceedings as scheduled. Greetings, Mel. Greetings, Rondi. Let's see. All right, so.
Come sit down. AZ doing a live chat.
Hey, Stefan. Hello, hello.
He's on the internet.
All right, so. All righty. So as always, welcome to our Let's Build. Today's topic, of course, is universal laws. Be a little outside of one's expectations as far as this talk is concerned, so we can expand a little bit more on the nature of, or the proactive nature of natural law. Let's get our well, at least our previous participants a little time to filter in a little while, maybe like 2 minutes, and then we'll move forward.
Up on my phone. We in here live though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad everything is coming in crystal clear over the phone, so at least we can proceed.
I got it.
Alrighty.
Use the iPad. Try to find this on Facebook on your phone. Maybe no. I was thinking we could use that.
I think maybe.
But you gotta start over and all that, you know.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So, I think we're all set. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Let's Build. Once again, live here at the Raw. Of course, as seen before, I'm joined together here with AAA and Shempty. Definitely holding some energy in the house. And I got Shempty's fam here. I'll introduce you to them later. And yeah, for the most part right now, what's going on, Jamal? Alrighty. So as always, as expressed before, it's important that we recognize the nature of what is being expressed here in being but a physical vehicle of our collective conscious and who I am and who we are, the angelic realms of the Galactic Council of the Galactic Federation of Light, and who I am as a physical manifestation of Commander Ashtar. The thought vibrations and projections here represent only but 20% of the actual energy information exchange that takes place here from the heart space, which is ours, the heart that we do share, where infinite intelligence expresses itself. It is necessary through these changes or through these expressions, through this exchange, through this union, that we recognize the angelic presence of our collective, not only here, but of course with you through the nature of this free will joining and connection that we share in this now moment. The verbal expressions here, once again, only represents but a quarter of the downloads being received by you presently in this now moment, and being but an energy exchange. Of course, the deeper level or the bulk of the exchange takes place energetically, intuitively within your own heart space, where before we do our sessions, we always... Am I missing something? It's my phone. Okay. I don't know what that was.
Anomaly.
Yeah, no doubt. Anyway, of course, to allow for that connection, expression, and exchange in unison to be potent, we always do the exercise where we calm ourselves and go for a small 60-second meditation to ground and allow for the heart to embrace this connection. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we will do now is, of course, our 60-second meditation, where what you're doing is basically allowing everything in your physical environment to be as is. The purpose of this connection, of this exercise, is to release all the energies that are here to express throughout your day. There's a lot of changes taking place with many of you, a lot of transformations and gateways and portals being expressed by many of you, or at least transcended by many of you. And of course, to be present, to be fully here and absorb and allow our hearts to open more. Yes, Randy, we must ground ourselves and allow for our angelic connection to connect more with you in this now moment through embracing your heart space. So once again, relax and intend to go within your heart space and connect in this now moment. So thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. 60 seconds. Gently allow yourself to sense your extremities, your legs, your arms, your fingers. Allow your lungs to return to their normal intake capacity gently. And gracefully open your eyes. A great honor it is to be alive and present here on planet Earth. The ability to serve, the pleasure, the blessing of experiencing life itself here on this plane, to breathe, to see, to connect, to share the love that is within us, the nature of our being, the essence which we are, being omnipotent, omnipresent. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. You could be anywhere, but you're here. And of course, the nature of our exchange is a great pleasure. Today, we're going to speak on universal law. However, I feel, and we feel, that universal law is an integrated aspect of existence itself. For the sake of integrating the nature of these laws, it is highly digestible and practical for us to recognize and acknowledge these laws through conversation versus a list of titles and definitions, explanations, logical explanations of the laws that are, the law that is. Your ability to absorb, to connect with such information, to connect with the love that is within you, the infinite intelligence that is within you, and the nature of this infinite intelligence within you is in your ability to remain present. Our talks, they're all based around grounding ourselves. And of course, grounding is in getting out of the mind space and back into the heart space. That is the core purpose and nature of grounding itself. However, it is counter to grounding to attempt to collect information, where the collection of information or knowledge, if you will, usually comes out of an expression of explanations and notes taking, if you will, where once again, this is not what this connection, what this channel is about. As stated yesterday, some of you remember our talk with Todd. Some of you were there at our talk with Todd, and the wisest expression, the wisdom of self-mastery is not in the collection and memorization of various information, but it's in the ability to observe, be open, remain open, allow, accept, and release. We're receptive to that which is expressed by various reflections throughout the illusion. However, the wisdom is not in attempting to memorize the information. The wisdom is in the practical application of the information through the embodiment and release of that which is expressed. So it's a practical activity. Let's get into it. I'll try to shoot through this as fast as possible because I feel like our conversation today will be much appreciated by the masses. Usually, of course, with the laptop camera, everybody will be visible. However, unfortunately, the phone is our platform today, so we'll work from here. We'll start off by recognizing the nature of the divine truth, which is there is intelligence, infinite intelligence. This now moment being a manifestation of your own. The material universe being a product of mind. When we speak of mind, most will perceive contextually that we speak of that which is between your ears. However, we speak of universal mind and being the all-knowing, all-present within the heart space. With just a little research, you realize that the heart space contains the intelligence of all that is, all there is, the heavenly technology that's responsible for the experience of relativity itself. This intelligence, of course, is undefinable and beyond understanding, or some may term unknowable, being that, of course, this intelligence is ever expanding. It's continuously expanding always. So the concept of understanding requires for a soul to actually observe what they're attempting to understand, if you will. However, being that the universe itself is continuously expanding, it cannot be contained because there's always more. It all exists in this now moment. So for the most part, there's an acceptance of our own glory. Law. A law is defined as a system and collection of rules. In an infinite universe of infinite possibility, on that scale, it's necessary to recognize that there are none. We're talking about an infinite universe of infinite possibility. On that scale, however, there is such thing as natural law and laws that govern this particular universe that we occupy at present, this dimensional framework, if you will. A foundational aspect is necessary for us to recognize and even having the capacity to embrace such an experience, such an awareness, is in recognizing that reflection, the illusion, if you will, the reflection that we're experiencing, that we're observing, the reflection is about awareness. The illusion is about awareness, the experience of our own awareness of self, awareness where we are working with our own creation. And with that, energy is. Energy is the ever eternal universal law that remains. Peace is the frequency. Love is the fabric of existence itself, the essence of life itself. Peace is the neutral frequency. However, once again, regardless of what universe you're in, throughout the multiverse, energy is. There is existence. Energy is what? Motion, forever changing. Molecules at different rates of speed, manifesting different aspects of the illusion itself at different vibrations. There's always change. Relativity is but the recognition of the separation or the separate nature of the illusion itself. This is an aspect of the primary. Another aspect of the primary is that all has a vibration. All has a vibration giving birth to the density of the essence that is, or the different densities of the essence that is. The law of polarity, or polarity itself within creation, or within the primary of creation itself, basically expressing the opposites of all. The polar opposites of all. And of course, these opposites are to equal degree of themselves. Rhythm, all moves in waves. Of course, with polarity, once again, as to an equal degree. Back and forth. The sun rises in the morning. The sun sets. The moon rises. The moon sets. The dawn comes. Another day. All happening within accordance with law. Everything happens by law. There's nothing out of place. Everything exactly as it's supposed to be, in coordination with all of the other laws. And of course, life itself always has creative principles. Every action that takes place, every expression has creative principles that combine or that associate with different aspects of what one may call gender. All of these factors, if you will, and calling them factors for the sake of simplicity. All of these factors apply to a primary law of nature within existence, within this particular universe, and they all work together. They aren't necessarily separate. And this is why I stray away, or we stray away from attempting to separate laws as if you need to write them down and apply them to individual aspects of your existence. They all work in this now moment, and they all coexist and cooperate with each other like the colors of a rainbow. There is no end or beginning to either of them. They all coexist in this now moment, and they all apply to life itself. For instance, some may point out karma. And once again, as we move into this path of mastery, we start to recognize, and we're starting to realize and become more aware of the nature of what we term as karma. Some may label or equate it to the nature of cause and effect. However, with a deeper sense of sensitivity and spiritual maturity, you recognize that it's not black and white. It's not necessarily exactly cause and effect. If I do this, then somebody else is going to do this to me. It's not that black and white. It's a lot more complex than that. Of course, karma works together, or what we describe as karma is but a subsidy to a universal principle of harmony. And when we talk about harmony, yes, we're talking about peace, but peaceful coexistence. However, there's more of a metaphorical context to that. We're talking about energetic frequency. When you play the song or the frequency of your being, of course, life plays that same harmony throughout your experience. The act itself, infused with intent, thought, words, and actions, all play a part in this harmonic essence that we radiate. And a part of this harmony remains within our state of being, our frequency of presence. This is a universal principle in itself. Depending on the nature of your frequency is the nature of your experience now. With harmony, liberation will follow. Life has a rhythm of its own. However, this rhythm, this river, if you will, comes with many choices that we can embrace on a conscious level. Of course, based on our sense of spiritual maturity and ways of being. Applied awareness dissolves and transmutes distortions within our energy field. When we speak of harmony, when we speak of life flowing and unfolding before us, of course, the applied awareness that comes with the frequency of peace, the frequency of harmony, of acceptance, allows us the realizations that, of course, allow for the distortions and things that we brought about through our experience to dissolve on their own as we maintain a wise sense of presence and balance in accepting what's taking place. The applied awareness is but the manifestation of acceptance. Acceptance being a manifestation or act of unconditional love. An applied awareness is what some may term wisdom. Knowledge, if you will, being but the expansion of one's awareness of what already exists within. However, the application of that is in acceptance. The ultimate nature of wisdom is in accepting that infinite intelligence is. Unfortunately, most incarnations they apply based on distorted stimuli, and we speak of pain. Most apply, some not. However, for the most part, most humans on this plane of existence accept and expand and apply a particular awareness based on the distorted stimuli of pain, which is once again unfortunate because it brings suffering. Now, it is a blessing in disguise because, once again, suffering serves its purpose. It serves its purpose. It cleanses, burns away that which no longer serves us. However, of course, within this process, throughout this experience, this unfoldment, we have the ability to embrace on a conscious level that which is necessary for us to embrace through continuous grounding. A conscious existence. A conscious existence we speak on when it comes to being awakened. A conscious existence is about a proactive application of that which is recognized as the truth within the heart space, which is peace, of course, grace and harmony and love, fairness, integrity, truth in all our actions. When we apply these, when we proactively apply these in being present, we mitigate any harm. We mitigate any distortions that may be presented. Some are necessary, however, not all. And the ones that are necessary, when we actually apply that which we know, that's that which we recognize as the truth, we have the ability to gracefully mitigate a lot of the upheaval, especially emotionally. However, once again, to say it and do it are two totally different things. Love, compassion, forgiveness, and grace transmutes. Ladies and gentlemen, love, compassion, forgiveness, grace, acceptance. These are all energies that transmute that which is distortion and out of alignment with one's preference. We're here in life, here in this dimension, in the physical plane, with a desire to evolve through experiencing unconditional love. And the unconditional love that we intend to unfold, we intend to embrace and cultivate, is being realized through the experiences that we've set up for ourselves. The experiences we've set up for ourselves. And when I say set up, on an individual basis, every incarnate has created an experience that's specifically tailored to you as an individual. All have set up this experience tailored to you, your own harmonic frequency, to allow for you to experience and embrace more and more the nature of your own sense of unconditional love. There is a law. There's a Sanskrit word that goes with it, but we won't go into that. However, there is a law that talks about continuous creation, continuous service, the manifestation of freedom, of liberation, of light for all life, the completion of universes, the completion of the universe within you, within this particular framework. This intent, this manifestation, this unfoldment is where we recognize that souls are forever evolving with the universe. Forever evolving with the universe because the universe is forever expanding. There's always more to experience. There's always more service to participate in. Even amongst those that are highly evolved. Some may look at our existence as the galactic, so even amongst the Galactic Council, as complete. However, that is not the case at all. Our service continues. Our service continues even here and now. The desire to serve is an aspect of existence. The ability to serve on different planes of existence, including that of the physical, is one of the greatest blessings of life itself. And realizing the nature of our physical presence, even in the higher planes of existence here amongst Earth humanity, some of us deciding to incarnate here on the surface of planet Earth in human bodies. However, once again, we realize and recognize the blessing of life itself. We recognize the blessing and honor of continuing to be able to serve on as many planes of existence as are available, based on our capacity and love for the nature of service, for the nature of life, of expansion itself. And of course, this is a free will choice. Free will works in a couple ways. Many will say, we don't have a choice. Some will become dissatisfied with existence here on the planet and say, well, I didn't choose to be here. I don't like it here. This is not cool. So on and so forth. However, being here, of course, is a choice. Consciously, it might not necessarily be a choice for the incarnate because of their sense of dissatisfaction in the present. However, on a soul level, everybody wants to be here. And in actuality, those amongst our ground crew stood in, metaphorically, very, very long lines of many, many souls who wanted to incarnate amongst Earth humanity to serve. So 144,000 ascended masters with very specific talents and capabilities were selected to be here. We're selected to be here, like winning the lottery, to be here on planet Earth in these bodies. Of course, on a conscious level, amongst the etherics, you recognize the absolute beauty and blessing of the Christed frequency within a physical vehicle. You recognize the value in that, which is absolutely priceless. Existence itself is priceless. However, of course, amongst the etherics, actually manifesting or incarnating in a physical vehicle amongst a transition of such magnitude, amongst the humans, the Lyrian descendants here in this sector of space, to actually incarnate in these physical vessels, it's an absolute honor. Back to free will. The setups. And this, when we say setups, we talk about on the soul level, we set up a experience for ourselves, a reality for ourselves, a physical vehicle with friends and family and trials and tribulations and what we may call challenges, parts of the world, times and dates, the personality construct. All of these things are aspects of intelligence that was set up personally by you, handcrafted, tailored by your own expression of infinite intelligence and who you are as source. You created this now moment and everything that has to do with your life in this now moment. Everything is all yours. You set it all up. And of course, that setup has experiences that come with the setup. Now, free will is in your ability to embrace the experiences that you created for yourself. And of course, you have the free will to resist the experiences that were created for yourself. Or, not only can you accept the experience or resist the experiences that you created for yourself, you can also, there's also a third option of actually skipping some of the experiences that you created for yourself. Of course, this is based on evolution. one may have evolved beyond the experiences one has created or set up for themselves only because they've awakened to such a rapid degree that it's not necessary for them to experience that anymore. That's the wild card. I'll go through 3. That's 1. And this is all having to do with free will. Based on awareness, free will also works like this. Based on your level of awareness, you can choose how much or to be affected at all by worldly events. And when we speak of worldly, we're not necessarily just talking about global events on a social scale, economic scale, religious scale, belief systems, or whatever the case may be, but we also are talking about events that take place in your own individual reality. The things that take place in your home, amongst your friends and family. You can choose to be affected in a particular way by any of these experiences, especially when it comes to the emotional body. It's always a choice. It is always a choice. This is the nature of free will. And that is the segue to the third aspect of free will. Your responses are always a choice. And this is where responsibility is so key. Conscious existence, a sense of self-mastery comes with a deep level of personal responsibility. Not only to one's own state of being, but of one's surroundings. That which takes place amongst one's physical experience. We always have the ability to take responsibility. And of course, a leader's work is to do so. We always take responsibility for that's what's taking place. There's nothing or no one to blame for anything that is unfolding. Go through a couple more things before we wrap this up. There is you, the one, consciousness of self, more and more through acceptance. This is unconditional love at work, self-acceptance. The one. And amongst a world of awakening souls and information being expressed through many channels of information, if you will, you must recognize that the one, there is a physical manifestation here, and of course you embody a physical manifestation. And yes, in the reality of relativity, we may look at everything and say, okay, well, there's me and there's you, and we all must agree, or we all have to rise our frequency in order to see freedom for everyone. And once again, the intention behind such an expression is extremely wholesome and very selfless. It brings a sense of humility to a person's presence, if you will. However, there is a foundational awareness that's necessary to be embraced. There is you, the one, and of course the holographic expression or experience that you view remains electromagnetic in nature. This is a hologram. We say you are source, and we truly mean that you are the source of this holographic experience, the foundation of this holographic experience itself. To assume, and I'll just take this one home, to assume that your awakening or to see the new earth, to see your liberation depends on the actions and decisions of another is truly based in the illusion of separation. This is not the case. To feel that you remain here on the lower planes of existence because of someone else not waking up or making decisions that have to do with any level of density beyond the higher planes of existence is simply an error in consciousness. No one's holding you back, and you're not waiting on anyone to awaken for liberation to take place. Move away from that. Your existence to what is what's responsible for your continuous suffering. There's always more to realize on this path, and of course the nature of wisdom is in being open to more and more awareness, because of course this is continuously expanding. There's a lot unfolding amongst humanity, and of course your ability to allow it to flow through you is an expression of acceptance and the greatest power in the multiverse, which is unconditional love. Acceptance. Acceptance mitigates fearful energies. There are those in fear that will continue to entertain it and resist it and attempt to figure it out. However, of course, if one simply accepts the experience as it is, the fearful energies begin to dissolve themselves. Infinite intelligence takes over, and it allows for the alignment of the experience and the evolution or expansion of one's awareness and realizing what is actually taking place. The more you release fear, the more you accept, and vice versa. The more you accept, the more you release fear. There's only an expression of your own intelligence taking place in this now moment. All is as it should be. There are no mistakes. There are no accidents. There's only the present. There's only your creation. There's no harm. Nothing can harm you but your own frequency of being. Once again, your own intelligence, your own experience, your own creation. Forever expanding. Forever realizing itself more and more through your ability to accept what it is now. There's so many laws that can be expressed. There's hundreds and hundreds of laws, primary and sub, that could be expressed here. However, all of this information is contained within your own sense of presence. It exists there. Of course, you tap into this awareness and, of course, this guidance and the book, if you will, of life itself and awareness itself remains within your ability to embrace presence. Being totally here, beyond the analysis. This is wisdom itself. True presence and allowing acceptance, the love, the compassion, the forgiveness, the grace to move to accept what's unfolding. All of the philosophers of time and space, all of the masters here and beyond, on planet and off planet, recognize the nature of infinite intelligence more and more through their sense of being, through their sense of calm. The frequency of peace, of course, is the vibrational frequency of infinite intelligence itself. The laws are always operational. However, as expressed before, they work and operate as a rainbow does. They're interlocked. And they're all proactive at the same time. This is similar to the millions and millions of activities that take place within the physical vehicle just to allow for us to witness each other in this now moment. The blood cells, the breathing, the molecules with the skin, the hair follicles that filter the intake, the eyes, the retinas, the muscle movements of the hands, the mouth, the facial expressions, the mental processes that are countless and continuous, all taking place in this now moment. Everything. Playing with the information only tickles our sense of intelligence, or our sense of intellect, if you will. Not necessarily intelligence. The intellect is the mind. The intelligence is the heart. Intellect is limited. Intelligence is infinite. Allow the experience to serve you. The laws are recognized on certain levels. However, the levels are very intricate. Some limited in attempting to receive explanations, logical explanations on infinitely intelligent and divine information, which is based on natural law, a never expanding, all encompassing multiverse that's present in this now moment. To play around with these ideas continuously, to hold on to this information continuously, is only counterproductive to your sense of presence. And of course, the greatest knowing is the knowing of peace and being the frequency of infinite intelligence itself. So as we evolve, as we continue along this transition, there's a lot to realize on a very proactive level, and of course on a universal level, when it comes to laws and the rules of the game, if you will, when it comes to addressing the reality of game masters. However, of course, our perspective, our greatest advice we can provide you as humans, as evolving and awakening from this 13,000 year sleep, is be gentle with yourself. This is not a class, it's a experience. I'm here to collect information. I'm here to be more present. One may say, well, if I intellectually recognize the nature of the laws, I would be better off in working with them. However, the analysis of the infinite intelligence that's taking place now is limited in recognizing that the more you think about walking, the faster you'll trip up. Universal laws are integrated within your reality, and they're already here now. It's your ability to be here and be in this present moment beyond the thought of an activity or analytical activity of the mind that allows you to work with the laws seamlessly in a rainbow of harmonic colors based on your own harmonic frequency of being. You're already working with all the laws. To name them and label them only gives more toys to your intellectual framework and draws you farther and farther away from experiencing the true intelligence of your life, which is truly joyful and a great blessing that is beyond measure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here at our Let's Build. This is our talk on universal laws. We will take a small break for some music, and then we'll return with our group discussion here at the Ra. Of course, AAA is here.
And you got.
Oh.
I think you can actually do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Will it?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, but it's probably gonna show sideways on the screen.
No,
right?
because yours is not locked.
Check yours, Angel. If it's
Okay, so yours is locked.
Lock what?
Because I unlocked it, mine. Yours is locked.
Can you unlock it now?
Yeah, I think I can. I'm trying to remember how I did mine.
Let me find this song real quick. Hold up. One moment, please. Mel, I'm looking through the playlist now.
Video is no longer available.
It's no longer available again.
Let me see, wait. Is this the old one? Just the old one. Let me see. Yeah. We're good.
Okay, cool. Let's see, fixture focus. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, Mel, I'm gonna go fix your focus, mama. Let's see.
What's your day about? We moving steady. Back on down Cody. Let's go to work. Chill. Look. It's a lubricating moment, baby. Listen, this ain't the first time they call me crazy. Yup, more compassion for him, man. It's gravy. So Paisley on the house road, kid, I'm Swayze. That's upstate, beyond the drama. Blue-gray on green llama. I'm with the goddess, yo, Kundalini, kid, gold sunny cipher. Montana, tones, Tony the Tiger. Hey, yo, I'm great at a great to my name, like grandma, mother. I'm ET undercover, bring the mother loving brothers. I'm in this slumber from the underground, these bunker busters. It's such a bummer how brothers find comfort in numbers. Skywalker, I'm humble, not one for the run. Run my main, looking like the gingerbread man. Trust me, boy, you gotta play a plan. That makes sound good, don't it? Boy, you phony. Yo, I grew up on bologna. White bread, a little mayonnaise, it's a mandate. You should be afraid, cause that's a double entendre by man. Let's keep it one straight up. You afraid and you're thirsty. You should be out here serving. Just leave it for this money. Yeah. Fix your focus. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Three. Yo. 3. We them ascended masters. We out here. Yeah. Sean K. Yeah. Keep it cool, son. I got my lemonade in the cognac glass on A. Taking the lead, going your own way, boy. Yeah. I got my lemonade in the cognac glass on A. So much, yup. Sing grandpa my love. Open palm, high five. Poetry pilot, skydive. My whole life for highlights. Watch you write the rhyme, record the line. mix refined. Mix some food for his dues and gratitude with smoothies. Strawberry, yeah, and other mixins. I'm pimpin', it's 33 with assistance. OG when I'm talking this Teddy Ruxpin. Rucksack full of dope trafficking, rapping. Yo, healing cuts, galactic staff on my ad libs. Beat be knocking, the album come with some Advil. Sprinkle me, man. This that salt base. Yeah, we here to serve, homie. This the pathway. Seasoning. Focused on that cake, that's that halfway. I let my soul glow shake, dripping hairspray, smelling like lemongrass, sass, and sorbet. Ancestral, celestial, that's my mama name. So stop sweating me, have a piece of cake. Yeah, boss, yeah. C-Lo, definitely go side by side, piece on other faces of the tyrants. I'm advised that just back that. Damn, fibers, that tranquility through my inner fibers. I'll be powerful, levitate on waves, fly kites, float on ocean, high tide, you die. Cold chill, two morning calls on the back, or up, red and blue, yin yang, black horse, purple mix, swoosh shade, no sweat, have a drink, quench your thirst, do inner work. No sweat, have a drink, quench your thirst, do inner work. Yeah. Yeah, the boy. Within is where you cultivate the soil for the seeds to grow the garden. We just getting started, UBC. Yeah, chill.
It's Facebook though.
I don't think it's the Wi-Fi.
No, I don't think it's the Wi-Fi either, B.
Yeah.
That's good like this.
Yeah, we'll let it rock, damn.
Which I think is good like this, man. All y'all out there in the chat.
Good move back.
Yeah, no doubt. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Let's Build. Of course, this is our segment of the show where we actually have an open forum conversation amongst ourselves on the nature of our talk today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Of course, we have some technical issues at the beginning with our camera and some of once again we working with some serious energies right now, and I would love to have a fly conversation with the fellas here on universal law and some of the basically some of the proactive aspects of laws that have been in action in your lives. Maybe y'all can share some of y'all stories and experiences and recognizing these laws amongst yourselves and your own experiences in life. Like, have y'all experienced like direct manifestations of like universal laws impacting your experience, like directly in a real practical way, where you saw something take place and the way it panned out, and you're like, wow, the universal law like really is an operation, and like amongst your own experiences and of course experiences of others. Like how does that affect y'all? You know, witnessed any of that stuff before.
Andrew?
Why don't you do?
Well, I was thinking about when I was in the club one time. I was in the club. And you know how people get in the club, they want to fight like crazy.
Yeah.
But the law of reciprocity and what goes around comes around came into effect because, you know, I tried to keep a positive output. And while I'm in the club, everybody tripping, and I was able at that moment to stop the guy from attacking me as he turned around fighting in the club.
Yeah.
With just a calmness. At that time, I didn't understand all this stuff, but later, as I thought about it, I was like, damn, that was like some Jedi shit. Like, he'd be like, and he just calmed down. He was cool, like, all right, man, you know. And then went on. So, okay, that's a very ghetto, rugged version, but them laws is real. They work.
Yeah.
You know?
What about you, Gonzo?
I mean, we're speaking about laws, right? Is there a number of what laws that there is? Because if we could speak about,
I mean, at the end of the
Because,
day, like,
yeah.
there's
because
hundreds.
I've heard of the 7 laws.
There's 7
The
Kemetic
7
laws, Hermetic
Hermetic,
laws,
yeah.
but then there's also like the 10 laws of nature, spiritual laws, like 50 laws, universal laws, and sub
law of
laws,
duality, the
like
law
it's
of vibration.
Yeah, all of that stuff, like
Okay.
all of those things, like it's just so many of them. Where in actuality, these are all for the most part philosophical expressions.
Okay.
I mean, the closest. As far as mastery is concerned, the 7 cover the primaries, the 7 Kemetics. That's the Emerald Tablet stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like proactive
Mm-hmm.
laws, they're only those that are observable, and this is all
Right.
like based on science. Of course, science is always limited because it's always attempting to catch up with spirit. There's things that's
Right.
taking place outside of our awareness that's unobservable.
Right.
And these laws are probably more more than likely more primary. To spiritual life or spiritual basis, because you're dealing with the divine versus physical things or energetic things that take place in a very practical sense. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And these are like the primaries outside of what we're able to observe here in the physical sense. You know what I'm saying? Or gauge, if you will, because then you can label them and title them and say, oh, if you do this and you do that, well, it's scientifically proven in plants and humans and like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Okay, so I think, so I'll comment on what I've noticed in my life, and, I feel like what I've noticed is that whatever that I'm focused on, whatever it is, seems to come true or start to have its own life, right? Even if it's not immediate, it happens. Right, and you think about something, or you think about someone, and then all of a sudden that person comes to the door, or things like that, synchronicity and things like that, right? Or but it's happening more than not. And I've also noticed the opposite when you're in fear. So when you focus on something that you're afraid of, you seem to get more of it. Or should I say, the way I want to explain it is, for example, if you want something really, really bad, and you're going for that goal, your intention is to get there. I know with no doubt that I could get there, but if you have fear that you won't get it, it kind of pushes that away, almost as if to say, it repels it away, basically.
Yeah.
And the way I see the universe now is like a ball of clay, right? And we are molding it how we want it, based on how where our conscious and our vibration is.
Yeah.
So that's why when we say our environment is a direct reflection of what's happening inside, is so true.
Yeah.
Because you are constantly creating this universe as you go. So you could be creating something, but then once you put fear in the mix, that form, you start to lose that form. It starts to get fuzzy.
Yeah, like how we was talking about now. When you not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Just want to add on to that because you was talking something right knowledge.
Right.
When you're in the now, let's say you die tomorrow. If you die in a traumatic situation, that will stamp itself in now, and you will be released into your supreme consciousness. If you had that fear with you, as you cross over, this is what you can create, like a hell,
right,
for yourself.
And yeah, exactly. And another thing about that is, like, for example, money. A lot of people worry about money, and they try to control the situation. And as much as you try to control the situation, the worse it gets. The more you get involved in fear, and it gets deeper and deeper in the whole fear.
Yeah.
But this is what I've noticed. I've noticed that when you figure out that there's nothing you can do about it, when you're stuck in the corner and you've done everything you can to control that situation, but nothing happens. And the reason why is because you've been trying to control it the whole time.
Yeah.
But once you realize you can't do anything about it,
Yeah.
and you let go,
Yeah.
that's when you're the most peaceful.
That's right.
You're the most peaceful state that you've ever been, because there's nothing else you can do.
In the zone.
In the zone. And it's only till then when things start to change.
Right.
And I think that's the mental trap that we get into. We get into thinking that we have to control things. And the more we try to control it,
And like when I'm working on games or graphics or something, there will always be some code that I missed. And I would spend the whole night trying to force myself to get it. And as soon as I let go, sit back, drink some water, go outside, get some fresh air, come back in, the solution is there. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yep.
It was there the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
And
you're right about that, yeah.
But I find myself, it's so hard to let go sometimes. But
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you're trying to do a project, you try to make something perfect or near perfect or good. And it's difficult to stop yourself and just let go. So I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
because we're used to the programming, you know what I mean? And yeah, if you don't understand the universal law, it would take over you instead of you taking over it. If you don't understand the universal laws, you'll be the victim of it.
And agreed, but also Mother Nature has her own agenda, which is supreme balancement, or ma'at, as they say in Kemet.
Right.
So, a lot of Christians and maybe a lot of religious people will be upset by this fact that Mother Nature don't give a damn about you. I'm sorry. She's concerned about supreme balance.
Yep.
It's like your cells in your body. Do you give a damn about them cells in your body? Be honest.
No. I don't pay too attention about it. It affects me, probably
Well,
not.
okay, like if we're looking at the all, and let's say one cell is a galaxy. It's a whole galaxy. Yeah, you love it. You love your body. You're with it, but you're more concerned about
the whole
thing,
the bigger
being
picture,
balanced.
the bigger
Whereas
picture.
this one molecule has an issue, like you were talking about in the distortion and all that. So when a lot of people are lashing out with frustration, you're not going to really get anywhere because you're already empowered to do it yourself. Mother Nature has already prepared you. I was telling somebody else, we got HD cameras. We got 2 HD cameras. We got robotic. Man, look, this human body is the most elegant, like you were saying, beautiful, spectacular design ever. But we treat it like it's, everyday trash or whatever. So if we could just get, like he was saying earlier, to that point to where we let go. Yeah. Okay. Kia's talking. Yeah, come here. Okay. No, go ahead with what you were saying anyway.
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, in my experience, that's exactly what I'm battling with, and I'm trying to understand the universal laws, because it's funny that we're talking about this, because just yesterday I was actually doing some research on some of the universal laws, and you got those, the law of duality, you got the law of vibration, right? Where everything is constantly vibrating and changing. The law of polarity, where AZ were just talking about.
Right.
And then as above, so is below. That is very interesting. I like to get into that. But what I like about it is that once you understand these laws, like I just said, you get away from being the victim. You take control.
Take control
of what's rightfully yours.
That's right.
And we are our focus and our consciousness is so narrow sometimes that we can't see around that. And I think it's just like, if you can see outside the box, you can free yourself from all that.
If you can be attached from this physical body,
right, then
you have a chance to escape the duality of night and day, male and female.
Oh yeah, masculine is always a masculine and feminine. Yeah,
there's always going to be like a masculine and feminine, or the opposites. and like you're alluding to, the people are trapped in this, and some people are so trapped that they want to commit suicide or exit the simulation. Because this is, like you were saying earlier, this is a holographic simulation. This entire multiverse. So nothing can hurt you. You cannot be killed.
Yeah.
That sounds ridiculous, though. You know, people say, "What you talking about?"
No, it's not ridiculous at all.
My grandmother died last week, so yeah.
And this is probably like the greatest, and I'll probably say that for a second. I see the laws in operation in everything. Sometimes consciously, and sometimes unconsciously.
Yeah.
Let's say hindsight's 20/20, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the more sensitive, the more sensitive I become, the more order I see. The more, and the wild part about that is, the more order I see, the more I recognize like harmony and everything.
Yeah.
It's like a song. It's like a song.
It is a song.
And
I'm gonna go somewhere after that. Yeah.
it's like a song. And there are parts that's like melancholy and low key. There's exciting parts. It's like a symphony or orchestra. It's all playing. And the more, like I said, the more sensitive you are, like the more you recognize like the beauty of your song. And the more beautiful your song is, the more you excited to dance. Right?
Absolutely.
Now, and this is and here's the thing, like, and this is where I'm coming to with this, because the more I dance, right, the more I enjoy myself, and I stop thinking about it. The more I dance, the more I'm like,
you be burning the house.
the more I'm like just not thinking about it. I'm enjoying the song. And the song is so dope because it got all these parts, and there's parts you cry to and you be happy and all this other kind of stuff. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you always anticipating the crescendo, like the climax, but like you still gotta like enjoy the dance because it's still taking place. And like I said, the more I enjoy the dance, the less I concern myself with like trying to figure out how the DJ make the song. Or like, you know what I mean, like how the producer make the song, and you know what I mean, like, yo, what program you use, or what kind of mic is that? And they're like, nah, bro, just enjoy the song. And the coolest part about it is the dance itself is intelligence. The dance itself and the movements are all calculated, and then like when you become more and more objective, like sensitive and like observant, through being like conscious, because you know what I mean, you get in these points like you were talking about in the zone, like where you be so in the experience. Like you ever had a time when you had like such a good time that you were so stimulated that somewhere you like stepped back and looked at yourself having a good time.
Yes.
It happened
Like
the other day.
like you step back and were like, oh man, this is so dope. I wish I could take a picture. But you like in it, and there's people around you and like movements and everybody talking, and it's just that sense of stimuli. It caters to a sense of sight where you're not like, you're not analyzing it. You like in it, and you know that everything that you're doing, like if you start to think about what you were doing and trying to figure out what you were doing and how it happened and so on and so forth, you would stop having fun.
Exactly.
You would stop dancing. You would mess up your moves because you start to think about it, or like you be having such a good time, and then you like, oh well, how did, you know what I mean? And then it's like, dog, you about to mess it up.
Right.
That's right.
Just dance.
Right.
And like I said, the objective vision is where I visit there more and more. The more I see harmony. The more I see the song, the more I'm aware of the song, the more objective of the experience and the perfection that is, where I recognize that everything I'm doing is within the lines and nature of my own intelligence, where it's like, you know what, I am universal law. I am the song. I am the dance. I am love.
And the reason why you know that is because of that bliss. You feel like that's where you belong. That's where you come from.
Equilibrium.
That's where you come from.
Equilibrium. They call it the creative space.
Yeah.
No doubt. Exactly. When you beyond space and time, and then, like they say, when time flies when you're having a good time. Well, because you're beyond time. You're not. You have no sense of time when you're in a space of equilibrium. That means you're not thinking.
You are in your natural habitat.
Exactly. You're in your equilibrium. You're in your creative space. Like when you're doing what you love to do and what you were born to do. Like they say, you lose all sense of time and space. You forget to eat. You don't know what time it is. Like you zone out.
That's why I can't remember where my address is. I'm just like, I don't even know what day it is today.
Careful,
girl.
You just, like I said, you zone out, and this is why because I debated, not even debated. I considered it to have the little session and talk about the law of this and the law of that and the law of this and the law of that and and go through all of the, you know what I'm saying, like all the explanations of the laws and order and so on and so forth. It's just that once again, this caters to more analysis, and then you stop dancing. You're not enjoying the song. You're not enjoying life when you analyzing and attempting to figure it all out. Because once again, even if it's explained and we can, we can digest and regurgitate the names of the laws and what it applied to and so on and so forth, we're not necessarily embodying. It's not a proactive application of the laws in succession as a rainbow. It's an integrated aspect of existence itself.
It's only useful when you want to explain it or maybe
when you want to explain it. But once again, even explaining it or teaching it would be limited because you're limited to logic. It's like it's not heartfelt. Like a master can say, this is the law of this, and if you do this and this is this. But the thing is they have to apply it through their own proactive experiences.
Because words and language isn't the most effective way of communicating. Actually, we think it is, but it isn't the most effective way.
No, that's why in ancient Africa we got the tones. That's why it's nice how you said the music.
Art is another way of expressing.
True, but there's certain key tones, as you know, they correspond with the colors and all that stuff, which is a symphony, a grand symphony. But also the temples, like the Luxor temple and like these ancient megaliths, were built with mathematical tone precise, like the inside of the chambers of the
precise tones,
these tones and all that stuff, all work together because like you said, when you came into the temple on the top with the big sun with the wings, know thyself. So they were telling you from the beginning, but they was gonna walk you through the
sun disk with the wings.
Right, the sun disk, know thyself. So they were gonna walk you through the steps of the basic science, atoms and all these things, but at the end of the temple, because the whole temple was a body, the human body. And then they were actually living, like you said, living these principles through. So that's why they had vows of silence. They didn't speak. They cut off all their hair on their body. They keep clean. So it was definitely you have to live it. Because and I can attest to that, because I went through the sciences. We got the knowledge, and it's useless if we don't practice it. That's what we're talking about with care. We got to learn to care. Not care about who or care about what, but just care. And then Mother Nature will start caring again, because then we'll have that connection. And that's just something simple, right? Just caring about.
Which is just empathy.
Just basic empathy.
Yeah, basic empathy.
And then Mother Nature will start to respond. but since we're all kind of disconnected as humanity,
Empathy is what connects everything.
Empathy, caring, like how you care for your own baby.
Because then there's
Unconditional
there's
love.
a mutual respect for everything.
You have to care about that bum at the Hopmore Hall or at the train station,
Yeah.
like you care about your own child. Now that's a lot to ask for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
But that's what's going to be necessary in order to bring about the global consciousness.
And that's an individual work.
Yeah.
Like it's not. And once again, one of the things I wanted to hit on, especially when it comes to universal law, is that there are a lot of laws that that express. And once again, I have a deep appreciation for, like, for example, law of like fellowship. And this is basically like when a group of people get together and have a joint intent. They power the intent because they're all focused on the intent manifesting itself. However, and this is, once again, this is beautiful because you have this is the principle that governs like the global meditations and all of the group work and just some of the things that we do.
How they lower the crime rate in DC with meditation.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
These
by
things
just meditating.
Yeah. These things are beautiful. It's just that at the end, it's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you. Like you were saying before, like it seemed like there's always change, and it seemed like we're constantly creating a reality that's now based on our frequency of being and like how we feel and all that kind of stuff. What's actually taking place is we're shifting dimensions. All of the realities exist right now, all of them, and it's like it's an infinite number of them, and all of them have to do with how you decide to feel next. How you decide to feel again and again and again, like your vibrational frequency, you shift dimensions based on your frequency of being now. There's
what's happening.
An angel that's now, or an angel that feel good or feel bad, or you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things, they all exist in now. It's just that it's our choice based on frequency to consciously experience the one that we choose, of our choosing.
Right. Yeah, it's like changing a radio station.
Exactly.
How you want to communicate.
Yeah, like the analogy I like to use is, like you was talking about simulation earlier, we're in a video game. And at the beginning of the game, like any Xbox game, you have to create your character. And then you got to create your avatar. So to say, you come into this world, you come in through the vagina. That is the pressing the button and then the screen comes on. And that's another thing about the light, because if your phone, when you turn it off, is dark. And then when you turn on the light it illuminates the entire universe.
No doubt.
So you are the light from the darkness. But in that darkness was the infinite master plans created that we don't understand now. Eternity. And then, so you do choose. Kanye was right. I know probably people gonna be mad.
He was
absolutely
right. They got
correct.
caught in their feelings and they looked at it from a superficial standpoint, and you know what I mean, like all other kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, like maybe his articulation wasn't as media ready and sensitive, but at the same time, it was necessary for him to express it like that, so it got the awareness was there. Exactly,
awareness was there.
It's like it was received with the greatest prejudice, and because of that, it drummed up the deepest emotions from humanity as a whole, especially when it came to black people. It went crazy. But once again, the cool thing about peace is that it's the frequency of infinite intelligence. And after all of the hipping and hollering and debating and all the other kind of stuff, and they calmed down and they away from the pulpit and the peanut gallery, and they sat at home and they looked at it again by themselves without the emotional responses, and they just listened to what he was saying.
Right.
And they see the intelligence in what was being said. And it was like,
well, even if they didn't get it now, some people will get it later. They'll be looking at it and be like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Which for me,
I judge this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
I made some memes and all that, you know what I'm saying? But once again, it's just like Joe, look here, man. And this is the cool part about the dance. Intelligence is just so intelligent. It's so hard. Like, when I swear to God, like, yo, when I think about how ill this is, once again, it's a song. And if we sensitive enough and we're able to observe, like objectively, and see the nuances and all of the small little things that take place, not just necessarily on a social scale, but in our own life. There's like humor and excitement and zest and intelligence, like in everything. In everything, bro. And it's like, it's such an exciting experience. Like to truly live is to not know what's going to happen next, but to be cool with it and be excited about it, to be grateful for not knowing what happens next, because you don't know what's going to come around the corner. Once again, it's your song, it's your story, it's your adventure. And
that's why the ancient ones were so on it, because they didn't have no choice but to deal with it. You know, they didn't have no cars, they didn't have no air conditioning. They had none of that stuff. They had to deal with it. And they dealt with it so great that they were able to unlock secrets that scientists can't even fathom today.
With machines, because they became dependent on external functions.
And the beauty that you're talking about is so kindergarten simple and elegant that I'm also, and that's why I say Allahu Akbar, or hallelujah, or praise the Lord. See, that's when you're supposed to say that stuff, when you appreciate the beauty
of
it all.
And I think that's why.
I'm sorry for my Christians out there. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend nobody.
Once again, bro.
But that's why they say children got it right, because that's how they live every day.
Absolutely.
That's how they live.
The children got it right, you know. And
they got it right.
You know, if we were able to keep that, then we would get it right.
That's where the Universal Brothers University.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna create some new kids. Like, okay, we're not gonna give up all.
Create new kids.
Yeah, we're gonna create new kids.
Mr. Frankenstein over here.
We're gonna do some conception.
We're gonna create some kids.
So anybody signing up for the conception process?
That's right. That's my job.
We got applications going out.
So I'm gonna have a whole line of.
That's Amon's job. Yeah,
that's Amon's job. Swat, you know you're gonna have some babies, boy. I know you're watching.
So there's the bull, the team bull, yo.
But
so now go ahead.
I want to say one more thing, like that. What it reminds me of, and I don't, is I go back into, I talk about quantum physics, right?
Yeah.
And in the microscopic world, right? There's multiple possibilities. Like if you go to the minimum, to the speck of our the microscopic world, everything's possible. Everything's already happened, and everything happens at the same time. Right. It's only when we put our consciousness to it is when we start to create a law.
And then we actually create because when the scientists were doing the experiment, you remember they was looking at it in the camera, and it did something that you expected to do. But then when they were watching it with their physical eyes...
When they were not watching it with their physical eyes, it did what it wanted.
Right, that's what I mean.
There was multiple possibilities. I mean, it did everything. It was only into our consciousness...
Oh, yeah, you're right. I got it mixed up. I turned it around.
Yeah, it's just the way around. It's only until we were observing it, it started acting like a particle.
Yes.
And how can something be a wave and a particle? It was a wave and then became a particle only when consciousness was involved. And I feel like that's what we do in our world. Whatever we put our conscious to, we are creating.
Right.
But just know in this ocean of possibilities, you can create whatever you want.
Literally, like back in if we got fresh air, fresh water, fresh everything, your four-layer bio bodysuit, your human body would be an actual vehicle, or the macabre vehicle, and we could do some magical shit like in X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a mechanical macabre, and you can do also a natural macabre.
But I don't want to. We don't want to prop people up to think, okay, tonight I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do a macabre.
No. I mean, that's too much. That's too much.
That's what the Atlanteans did.
The Atlanteans did.
The Atlanteans did.
They screwed up a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
So yo, let's check our questions, bro. Can you pull up the questions on your phone?
I think so. I think I can. Let's see here. See if we have any questions at all. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with this.
Yeah, okay, cool. You can hold it, joint, bro. I mean, just hold it. You know what I mean? You can hold it in your hand, B.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna ask him some questions here.
Yeah, you probably gotta go back all the way to the top if you can, or at least as high as up you can. I got you. Go ahead.
So.
Oh, that's the beginning.
That's the way to beginning. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Hello from Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah. Echoes. Gratitude. Okay, here's a question.
Yeah, expand that joint. It's Pam.
Okay. From Pam. Can the universe push you further where it has to get something done quicker? And how do I know if someone is incarnate? Do you think I can trust the universe what has given to me?
Yeah,
What has given to me?
Well, for the most part, you're asking me, can you trust yourself? That is a matter of your own integrity, Pam. Let me see. As far as the rapid nature of getting things done, well, there's always more to do, if you will. However, intent and focus is where rapid manifestation can take place, where energy flows. The energy flow and the focus on that which you intend is all on you. Of course, this is an everyday process. And of course, the depth of the emotion involved with the intent is also a factor. However, as far as you trusting the universe, this is more so about you trusting yourself. So
Yeah, and you
go
can
back
also
onto the
you can
beginning,
trust
bro.
your mother.
You dig? So skip the karma big way. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, once again,
Also, I wanted to add, the universe can do anything it wants to do, but you are in the seat. You are in the driver's seat. So if you want to go quicker, it would just be, like he said, it'd be up to you to just move quicker.
well, once again, quick. The quick.
But yeah, what is quick?
Quick and slow is basically the illusion of time. The intention, the reality that you speak of, it all exists now. It's just a matter of your own vibrational resonance to that particular reality.
Yeah, it was like what I was saying before.
If you are to you have an intent to exist within that reality, then as they say, amen. So it is. You must embrace that particular reality now and not necessarily wait on anything external to take place or manifest or act as a testimonial for you to recognize and acknowledge that reality in existence in this now moment. Once again, it's always within the presence of now that everything exists, and based on your frequency and what you've accepted about now is what you will experience, of course.
So you got to take it.
Yeah, it's just like what we were talking about before. Like if this is now, and we live in now, and everything is now, our perception only sees this part of now, and depending where we vibrate, we move.
Because we only see a very small
percentage of the now.
Yeah.
So it's an illusion. We think things are in the past, and we think things are in the future, but it is a mere perception of what we only can see.
That's right. Because all is all.
Right. All is all. Everything, it happened already. Everything happened at the same time. It had the past.
Also, for example, with the quicker, what she was saying.
But if it went quicker for her, isn't that what she made happen? It's her creation. But she made it go faster.
But that's from her 0-point time reference.
Right.
Not from like his or yours.
Exactly. But that's her perception.
Right. But according to nature, we're all still one. Right. So, but it would have to be up to her if it's quicker or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But also,
it's her choice.
You said everything was already here. All the babies, I was telling you this the other day, Shots. All the babies, everything is already here now.
Give me my laptop, bro.
Every human.
I just need a whole laptop.
Yeah, the whole one.
Yeah.
take
Yo,
the
keep the phone. Keep the phone.
Take the phone off of
I
there.
just need the laptop. I just got
Okay.
get that call. I want to cut our thing off.
Yeah, the all the babies, all the human beings that's gonna ever be born is already here now.
Right. And it's almost hard to perceive, but
Right, because think about it. Every woman that's alive now has eggs in her body, right? That's ready to be fertilized. She has a periodical every month.
yeah.
So those eggs are life waiting to happen. The material, the skin, the bones, the teeth, the eyes, the nerves, the spark of life from the sperm that hits the egg, of course, carries the electric or the spiritual charge or whatever it is to actually spark it up. But all of your material is already here. So it's already pre-planned technically. So going quicker, that would be probably your own
Decision. Because you decided that that's what was your reality.
You decide that's your reality, so
you
I'm
can
about to be quicker.
exist wherever you feel like existing.
Wherever
And you do it subconsciously, or you can do it consciously.
And that's the thing, because
And-
yeah, go ahead.
And yeah, people are constantly maybe in stealth mode, or they're in
Subconscious mode.
subconscious mode, basically.
Well, the nature is only looking at your subconscious thinking than your conscious
Well, yeah,
thinking. Well,
there-
but you can concentrate. Like if you're meditating and you focus your consciousness, okay, you could get her attention. But
Yeah.
most of the time, she's probably going by your subconscious, which is automatic, without us even being aware that we're thinking this, or I want a hamburger, or I'm trying to do this. She already done picked up on that before you even thought about it, and then she already created the reality and made the whole path for you. And then you're like, damn, what's that? Where'd that come from? So that's why people have to keep in constant check of their thinking and feelings.
And feelings is very important, because
and be aware of that.
I think thinking is one thing, but feeling is another.
Feeling is the most powerful.
And but when you match them both,
Right.
thought and feeling,
And then you're working with,
I feel like that's when you're in sync.
right.
And
That's like
you're
your antenna.
instant creating.
Your heart would be your CPU, your chip, and then the thinking would be the antenna. Or maybe it might be the other way around, but
Yeah.
you know.
So, I mean, and this is in reference to Pam's question, yeah?
About it going quicker, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, well, once again, for the most part, like as we heal, the thinking aspect or the thinking function, they basically aid in our ability to cater to vibrational frequencies that basically cater to us being in a high vibration and open to the blessings that we intend to experience, right?
Well said.
So we dealing with. It's just that, of course, in realizing that we're experiencing that which we created already, which is beyond anything we could ever imagine, right? The greatest blessings we could ever experience or imagine for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's just necessary for us to entertain that which stimulates a high vibrational frequency inside, where of course the ins and outs of what needs to happen or what should happen or what we want to happen should kind of be left to our design to decipher. Because of course, once again, we could, like, mentally, our imagination or our projections, our perceptions and all other kind of stuff, we don't know what we really want.
Right.
But of course, on a soul level, we know exactly what we came here to experience and what was necessary and what will serve us the greatest spiritual benefit, as well as stimulation. Like, we know exactly what we wanted to experience, like on all levels of existence, that will bring us a joy that will bring us into tears. You know what I mean? And this is what we already created for ourselves. It's just
We have to prove to ourselves that we can do it.
us catering to the frequencies that allow us to be in that space, to allow it to come in. You know what I mean? We just have to be in that high vibrational frequency to allow that stuff to come in versus attempting to think it into existence. Because like, what are you thinking about? What you thinking about ain't got nothing to do with what you really here to experience and what you really, really want on the soul level. Because at the end of the day, the mind, ego mind remains ignorant to what's taking place and what's, what we here to experience. We don't know what we here to experience, and the capacity in which and how it's going to take place. Because it's limited. It's just based on the stimuli that we received since we've been here. But this is something that was created before we even came here, and created, from a place of infinite intelligence. Like, I'm gonna hook this up. You just, come here and be happy and be grateful, respect everybody, continue to show compassion, forgive everybody, be empathetic to everybody because they all you, respect everybody, and of course, with that expression and acceptance and unconditional love, that which you created will be manifested before you in divine order as you go through that which you created for yourself.
You can also come here and create, because you can create any character. Mm-hmm. You can create the most evilest, darkest, non-compassionate being that you want to create. Because we was all on the other side having this conversation. Like me and Zilla was talking, and he was like, nigga, oh, sorry. Excuse me, everyone.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, okay. Ask your mama. We was talking about he gonna come here and he gonna be the light, and I said, dog, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna be the dark, man. Yeah. And we gonna make this tight. And there was a bunch of other people. Angel was there. We all was there, and we agreed on it. We programmed it in the system. Mm-hmm. The universe punched it in, and then we came through the vagina like. And we forgot everything. We had to start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder we forgot.
Yeah, come on, that experience alone. Your first experience in a hospital was probably traumatizing.
You're like, this can't be it. What's going on?
I'm here. So when you come in the universe, you have no idea what the hell you got yourself into. It's beautiful, and it's scary and dangerous, but it's yours to control. It's your game. So if Margaret wants to go faster, she can very well do so.
Thank you, son.
But there are consequences that nature has put in place, right? Mm-hmm. For example, reciprocity. We always talk about that real quick. Because the reciprocity, what you put out, you will receive back. So with this law, even if you do make a crazy character that's evil, you're going to have a lot of obstacles to overcome. Even if you're doing positive, she's going to put obstacles in your way to make you stronger. Because that's what you asked for. Maybe you put in there, I want to be a rocket scientist. Well, you're going to have to do this, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. But you can't program every single detail of your experience because she got some surprises for you, which is fun, like AZ was saying. And if you just let go and experience the ride, even if you get in a car wreck. I know that sounds crazy, right?
No, well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really real. It's really real like that.
Real
and
like
once again, the intelligence has a way of doing everything that's beyond judgment.
Beyond judgment.
Like, we may see it as, something. I mean, of course, nobody wants to be in pain or hurt. Right. You can be dealing with a disease or something that's, significant as getting in a car wreck or falling out of, whatever, or breaking something. Yeah. But, of course, with these experiences, there's an intelligent purpose behind all of it. It's just that, of course, we don't necessarily know what it is at the time, but in hindsight, there's always a spark of awareness and realization of what actually is taking place, and it's like, wow, I didn't like how. And what was it we're expressing the law when it says there's always an opposite, the polarity. Mm-hmm. And it's always the exact opposite to whatever energy is being experienced of equal significance.
Like the Star Wars Jedi and Sith, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always an equal. Like, powerful as the dark is, powerful as the light. And this is why some of the greatest blessings come as some of the greatest distortions we've experienced. It's just, of course, in our ability to remain present and remain balanced beyond, resistance, protest of what's taking place We allow whatever it is to move out the way so the sun can shine, and we realize what this is about. It's like, okay, I don't know what that was, and it's not cool, but if I just be here and be cool, it's gonna move, and I'm gonna see what comes out of this. And it's probably gonna be as bright as the situation was dark. And it's just...
And that can be proven in nature without any books because of storms, storm patterns, how they come in and out, and the ebb and flow of the currents in the ocean. It's all there, you know, even in the physics, weak electromagnetism and all this radiation. Looking at the fundamentals of the way nature works, that's proof. That's facts.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. What you doing, Gonzo? You're not looking at the questions. Let's see. What's happening inside of you? Yes, that is the nature of reflection, Andrea. The work is always within. This is so. Absolutely. Thank you, Valerie, for sharing that. One thing I do want to clarify is that when we talk about the universe, we're talking about ourselves. We're not necessarily talking about a genie or somebody outside of us that's directing things or making things happen for us. Yes, we are embodied. However, we have to realize the reflection. There's only one. There's only us. There's only us. It's not anything outside of us telling, or we need to tell them what to do, to so on and so forth. This is our creation, our experience. This is us manifesting in our own experience what we are. Yeah, of course, the relativity and the illusion of separation. But once again, we talking about the illusion of separation. It's still an illusion. Like in the light of divine truth, we, must realize that it's all inside. We're experiencing our own hologram.
Yeah, one put it as the one broke himself up into 1,000 pieces, and each shard is us. But he didn't leave one piece left. So we are the one.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, once again, it's the the illusion of separation.
The illusion of separation.
It's for the purpose of experiencing oneself and all of oneself's glory and all of its infinite forms in the physical. But once again, we created each and every aspect of this existence, all the different incarnations, manifestations of the one. And basically, we just proven to ourselves how infinitely creative we are in creating all the universes, all the different species, all the manifestations of individuals and aspects of the harmonic essence that remains within our own being, within our own presence.
And so Jesus was right. You have to forgive your enemies.
Yeah, of course, because they not real.
They're not real. Because we was all there at the beginning making the deal.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even with that, it's like I created, this is a reflection of me doing this, so it stimulates a particular frequency in me that I can transmute. That is a catalyst of an expansion of my own love. Like, they're doing that as ordered or as guided or as directed by myself as source in order to stimulate particular feelings in order for me to align so I can move closer to my true and living self as a form of knowledge of self.
And the symphony, like you were saying, of nature is dealing with all, imagine how many beings are in the universe and how she has to weave all these experiences together, and it's a symphony. That's beautiful. Because it's unimaginable. Because I'm more scientific in nature, but when I look at it, like you, I'm astounded by the literal vastness of it all. It's It's amazing because if I'm thinking about it, because when I'm programming games, I'm trying to do exactly that. Is create a character for you so that you can run around in this endless universe and have experiences.
And do stuff.
And the work is so immense. I have a new respect for nature on
so many different levels.
So many
because
different
the
levels.
details are
The
details are astounding to the T. Like it's too much to
almost a
do.
direct replica as a computer system.
And we replicated the universe trying to create these computers. So that's why I like to use the video game as an example, because it's
exactly the way it is.
It's exactly it is. Photons, light, it's all illusionary, just like a game. And you can do whatever you want. The point is, if there was no bad guys in the game, it'd be no fun.
Well, actually, the scientists are saying that this is exactly a computer simulation.
Yeah, most definitely have heavenly technology.
Yeah.
Oh, and when you were saying how all of the realities are here now, that is right and exact. Because
if there's a program, there is already a path that's already been made.
yeah, but everything is
Multiple paths.
occupying, like where we're sitting at on this couch right now is another dimension. And there's some people sitting in this same spot right now. In unlimited realities.
Yeah, put this back up there, son. My bad. Thank you for joining us, Elaine. I really appreciate you joining us, as well as the rest of you, Lucy, Andrea. Thank you, Mel. Siraj, thank you. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I think we're gonna run maybe about another good 15 minutes, if y'all don't mind, and then we can go and shut it down for the evening. If anybody has any more questions on today's talks, of course, not the normal Les Bill, a little more unorthodox. Of course, the discrepancy with our laptop and our ability to film kind of threw things off a little teeny bit. But of course, everything is always right and exact, an expression of infinite intelligence. So as we are here at present, it's a beautiful thing. Thank you all for connecting. Once again, if there are any questions, anything that anyone would like to express, any stories that you'd like to share about universal law expressing itself within your own experience in a practical sense, it'd be very beneficial to the community, to the all, and yeah, once again to us as well, for you to share your stories. We are definitely open to embrace your exchanges. So we love you too, Andrea.
We love you too, Andrea.
Yo, put this back over there, bro. My bad.
We love you out there now.
Nah.
Now y'all know y'all doing all right out there, huh?
Yo.
Yes.
So it's like the baby bird.
When the baby come out, they go, ah. No, that's some bullshit. That's
What are you
some
talking
bullshit.
about?
I know, that's just crap. Craziness. But sometimes you, like Seal said, sometimes you gotta get a little crazy. You know?
That's scary, bro.
Yo. Oh, that's Ellen right there. Hey, Ellen.
Ellen Bush in the house.
I salute. Oh, man. He said,
Oh, the reason why they don't do that now
Yeah.
is because of the chaos and the stress that we put into the world. You know, babies being born with cesarean sections and all this other kind of stuff. We're supposed to technically, that's why I was trying to tell Marie to, do the natural. Maybe we should do it on the next one, But
Why, you mean in the water?
in the water, the baby's got to be born in the
Yeah, that's
water.
what she wants to do.
They don't gotta be, but it's all choice. Because I don't want to put
she wants to do.
any things on people.
Yo, is that a question, yo?
It says we are giving birth to the awareness, consciously and unconsciously, of the universal laws and laws of nature. This is the duality, the only one as it is, also one.
That's right. Because all is one and one is all. All is all.
Your pink shirt is calming.
Very.
You know what I like? I like this chain, man.
Oh, thank you, bro.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
That look like Thanos' ring, right? Hey, see, it's Thanos. You need to do the glove like that. You see the yet?
No, I ain't seen it yet. Yeah, the pink is common. Thank you very much, Medisa, for attending. I feel really calm. Actually, I was rather calm today, to be honest, the whole time, which is fairly unusual, especially when we have bills. I love our conversations of this nature where healing is involved. So it is rather soothing. So anyway, yeah, bro. So do y'all have anything else to share, man?
Come on, throw your questions.
I think if we keep sharing, we're gonna be here a long time, man.
Quick questions.
Questions.
But
Comments.
This crowd is already conscious. I can tell.
They're always conscious.
They don't
Like the
really-
type of people that come on here, they're already
They
aware.
all already know what's up, man.
Yeah, they already do.
You know.
But it's always nice because you'll take little things here and there that that you didn't necessarily
True that.
realize, and then you kind of put things together. And
Right.
it's a constant learning process, because when you speak about it, new awe effects, So
Yeah.
it's always good to build, though.
I like this, man. We gotta build. I'm gonna come to the next. Let's build.
Mhm.
We're gonna get it popping, man.
Absolutely. So, if there are no more questions, we can shut it down then, huh?
Yep.
Let me get the
No more questions. We're gonna shut down. You guys hear us? Shut down.
let me get the
Infinite Intelligent at Work, X Room 909 on 9th floor, 333 Ascended Masters. Wow. All right, Mel.
Deep.
Synchronicity.
Definitely.
Before we incarnate, do we work with other souls to leave clues or reminders?
Absolutely. That is an aspect of the co-creation of ours and working together to allow for alignment. And of course, the vibrations of the souls that coordinate are similar in having similar tasks to do, or at least similar experiences to carry out in order for the alignment. A lot of that is taking place, especially now, being the amalgamation of so many lifetimes, all the lifetimes within the human experience happening now, this being the climax of all of them. So those who recognize this lifetime to be most important, especially when it comes to ascension and a leap in evolution such as this, it takes a high level of coordination on the spiritual plane to orchestrate such a path that benefits everyone.
Right.
On the deepest level, in the deepest sense, when it comes to the energetic alignment and having to work with so many energies, not only from this particular lifetime, but all of the past lifetimes of experiences, having to work with all of these energies. And this is not necessarily just the individual, but as a whole, especially when there's more than one soul involved in such an alignment. So a lot of that is taking place now through your sensitivity, through your intuition. You recognize it when you have the questions. Once again, the question contains the awareness of what is taking place, where in actuality the answer is in the question itself. And this is more so just a matter of you trusting what's taking place and knowing beyond the analysis. So thank you for asking. However, you know what this is, and let's continue forth on our journey.
Andrea is asking, why would a narcissist cross one's path?
Why would a narcissist cross one's path?
Well,
Because they're
Why
coming
would
to
anything?
do their thing. Because the
Everything has a
devils,
purpose.
The devils, or I use that term loosely, but they're just doing their job.
Well, once again, they serve as a catalyst. He
I
said
like that. They're just doing their job, bro.
Doing their job, man.
That's
Absolutely.
just doing their job.
Most definitely.
That different level of frequencies. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
They doing what you designed them to do, and of course, this narcissism only assists you and serves as a gift in allowing you to embrace more and more of your compassion and forgiveness and empathy and acceptance of all as the creator. Respect is due for all. Respect all from a place of humility and unconditional love, because it is the absolute truth of our existence. And of course, you don't necessarily tolerate any blatant disrespect. You're not a punching bag.
You don't have to be a punching bag.
No doubt. But of course you love and you accept, and sometimes it's necessary to love from a distance. But you love. And it's not from a fake place, but from a genuine place.
Right.
You did?
Because you don't want to have to bust nobody up.
Hey,
Like the Jedi. The Jedi would rather avoid you than to get into a direct conflict with a bounty hunter. You know, they would do something to like go through the other side of the cantina, do a trick on your mind, they'd be out of there, you know. So use your Jedi mind tricks on them.
What you got, Gonzo?
well, I mean, they got it right. I mean, she said it. She said that's what I thought, a catalyst for my growth. Absolutely. And then someone said Valerie says to teach you self-love and self-empowerment, lessons of life. I mean, that's what it is.
Damn.
The life has a way of trying to balance itself out. You can't have one without the other.
No.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. That's it. You can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other. The yin and the yang. The darkness and the light. Male and female. I was going to tell you earlier about Geb and Shu. Air and earth. And in the hieroglyphics on the wall, Geb has an erect penis and he's laying on his back. And Shu is the air that's riding over. So these were the principles in mythological form, you know, in ancient times, talking about
The feminine and the masculine, or
these dualities
Duality,
and
yeah.
stuff, how it's working together, also going into quantum physics and other stuff. But yeah, more dualities. Yeah, I just wanted,
Any more questions, you know?
I think that's it. Yeah, Carrie Chu, we're back. We're still here, but we're about to say goodbye. She's like back, and you guys are still on. Gratitude.
No doubt.
Well, me and Shifty are gonna leave. AZ can stay.
Early mornings, late nights.
you know what I'm
We
saying?
do this.
The interaction of duality.
Yep.
Yes.
Shifty is the dark.
Darkness is okay. Look, the darkness in the darkness in your brain.
Hey, by the way, I just want to say that I haven't seen this guy in a long time, and the reason why I haven't seen him in a long time because he lives in a cave, all right, and he's finally come out to the light, but he likes to be in the dark. That's why I always make fun of him being in the dark.
I practice walking. I practice walking in the dark. I practice being in the dark.
This is a great example of duality right here.
Okay, look. If God said, "Let there be light," what was there before there was light?
See?
Okay, look. Okay, look. It's nighttime.
What he was doing before that?
He was asleep.
Look.
He turned it off.
Look, out there in space, right? What is it? And inside your head, inside your body.
Yeah, that's light.
Yeah, it's made out of light, but inside this construct, it is dark. Because there's no light in there. That shit gets crazy, man. It gets crazy deep. But yeah, this whole dark light thing, you know.
It's dark in there.
It's just dark. It's pitch.
It's just dark.
It's just dark.
You know, the surgeons have to put on the light to see inside. And also in the womb, in the mother's womb is also darkness. So the baby gestates 9 months in the darkness. So that's what I mean by darkness.
Hey,
We're not talking about Illuminati.
There's nothing wrong with being
I'm talking
the
about
dark, you know.
Illuminati.
There's nothing wrong with the dark, man.
No, you need dark.
You need dark.
Because when you go to sleep, what's the first thing you do?
Close your eyes.
Turn off the lights.
Turn off the light.
So you need some dark.
I mean, we talked about this before. How in the world are you gonna know that you were even in the dark if you haven't experienced the light?
Bang,
Right?
that's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's right. That's
But
right.
if you lived in the dark all the time and I say, hey, turn on the lights, you're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? You're talking nonsense.
But wait, the light was necessary.
Right.
It was necessary because how can the darkness, as all, experience itself?
It can't until it creates something opposite of itself. That's the only way it can even exist. And that's what some people think God per se did.
But some of the dark followers want to say that they are better than the light, but we have to shut them down too.
Yep.
Because the light,
They cannot exist without the light.
It can't exist without the light.
And the
It
light cannot
is
exist.
the light.
The
The
light
dark-
cannot exist without the dark either.
But
so.
the dark is the light. Remember the energy, the 0-point energy?
Right.
So you can't look.
No, but
the Egyptians did it best. The Egyptians said all is all, and they left it like that.
yeah, but I mean it's true though
true.
because all it is, the light and dark is already the same thing. It's just a level. It's an amount. That's all it is.
But that is still in the mind and information. Outformation, which you're dealing with, is outside of the realm of lectability.
It's outside of the illusion.
And that cannot be contained or even fully
Because
understood
It's outside
because
of
we're
the
trapped in this body.
Absolutely, I understand that.
It's the observable universe.
That's why you can't explain it logically.
Unobservable
We can't explain it logically.
beyond it.
Now the Egyptians said pa pa'ut. If you was to ask in the ancient Egyptian, yeah, what is darkness and light? They would say pa pa'ut. And you'd be like, what's that? And they'd be like pa pa'ut. All, nigga, all is all. They wouldn't go any further with you on that because they know that they can't give you a correct answer.
No doubt.
All is
They
all.
know so they just say, look, all is all.
No doubt. They don't want they don't get into no debate. So for none of that.
They're not gonna really deal with that.
Existence.
But as we're just conversating here now. So.
Hey, Andrea made a good point. I like making love in the dark. Why would you turn on the lights, man?
Turn off the lights.
I want to see the cellulite.
Oh
Sometimes
man.
you gotta do with the lights on, man. Sometimes.
I think we better say goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay, we getting wild.
Yeah. Let me see it, bro.
I feel like sitting up no more. My bad, son.
Come say hi to the people before you go, Jimmy.
That's freaking hilarious.
Come go with AZ. Get us close. Come on.
Yeah,
No, let's this. Go over there.
Trey. Come here, girl. Say hello. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name? Say your name.
Jenna.
My name is Jenna, right? Yeah. Okay. Say hi. Wave hi to everybody.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us once again here at the Let's Build. If anything that we take from today's discussion, it is within the experience that we've created for ourselves. It's a dance. We're dancing. The music is playing, and we dance. We are the conductor, we are the musician, and we are the dancer. The song is absolutely beautiful and perfect. The more you analyze the nature and foundation of the music, the steps of the dance, the less you enjoy the ceremony. Universal laws and recognizing them is a natural aspect of one's presence. It's integrated within your experience to recognize universal law. As far as the definitions and the titles, the explanations of universal law, they remain superficial to a certain extent. As awakening souls on this path of spiritual maturity, of course, our primary focus is that of recognizing these laws are integrated within our experience already. Of course, we can see them in operation, and it's very helpful for us to confirm or validate the order that is. However, the more grounded we are, the more we recognize and trust that there is only infinite intelligence and is the expression of our own creation. Energy is, love is. The fabric of existence is love. The frequency of this love, unconditional love, is peace. This is the truth, all-knowing, all-powerful, that is you. The one you are, I am. We are the one, and we are experiencing our own orchestra of experience. Through grounding, through peace, we realize this truth, and we have the ability to accept the present moment is absolutely divine. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for shining your light here in this dimension. Thank you for your services. Thank you for your smile and all that you do. Thank you for all that you give, your expressions. Your mere presence is absolutely wonderful. You are honored amongst the heavens for being here on earth. We recognize the density that exists here. And of course, if you were not strong enough to be here, you would not be here. So we love you from who we are, the Angelic Friends of the Galactic Council, of the Galactic Federation of Light. I am your Commander Ashtar. Much unity, much peace, compassion, acceptance, gratitude, and love. Jamal?
Let him do a dance outro. You ready? Do it to the camera.
Uh-oh.
Go. Come on, go. Go. No, just dance. Go.
Uh-oh. Oh!
Peace, y'all.
We love you always. Continue to express yourself in the most divine confidence we serve. Thank you.